The United States of America, the greatest country on earth. Beautiful cities, strong economy, technologically advanced, freedom and opportunity, and great people. But not everything is as beautiful as it seems. On the streets, we see that a picture of a perfect nation is shattered. On our very own streets, we see bullying in schools, gun violence against one another, racial tensions at an all-time high, and the war on drugs. Although the media portrays these as the most important problems in our nation, we often forget problems on the basic level, such as hunger.
I'm tired when I'm hungry. Sometimes I feel really sad because we don't have food for many days. When I'm hungry, I don't have energy to do my homework. When I'm hungry, I get really, really mad and I get a headache. If I'm really hungry, like haven't ate for a really long time, my body starts to shake.
I do have, 3 children, and work right now is really slow to provide for them right now.
On a scale of 1 to 10, hunger in America is a 1.5.
6, maybe a 6.5.
4.5.
Hunger in America is an 8.
4.
Hunger in America would be a 5.
5.
3.5.
The United States is one of the largest food producers in the world. We produce and grow more food than most countries, which is not a surprise since farming is one of the biggest occupations in the country. We actually produce more than enough food to feed the entire population of America. But yet, 1 in 5 children are at risk of hunger, and 48 million people are still food insecure. Even sadder is the fact that our very own Bluegrass State suffers one of the highest hunger rates in the country. The simple answer is trash cans and landfills. This is just one example of the huge amounts of food wasted by supermarkets across the nation, while there are still Americans that are food insecure. Through her research at the Natural Resources Defense Council, Dana Gunders discovered that Americans waste nearly half of the food that we produce. Her report, published by NRDC in 2012, attracted wide media coverage and put the problem of food waste on the map.
Resources Defense Council.
A recent study, 90% of Americans have thrown out food.
A report released today, 160 billion pounds, about 40% of the food supply,
is dumped in the trash every year.
Food banks are charity-based, non-profit organizations set up around communities where local people can bring in food to donate for the purpose of helping out those who are food insecure in their community. There are over 60,000 food banks in the U.S. One of such food banks is the Palm Beach County Food Bank.
The people in this neighborhood were starving. So I decided with my brother to start an organization called Feeding the Hungry. And we just want to cater to this particular community, which is called Casa del Monte, with at least 1,200 kids. Many of them, without our help, would be really, literally starving. But thanks to the Palm Beach County Food Bank, we have been able to meet those needs.
All right, so here in the United States, the statistics show that 1 in 6 Americans are hungry or food insecure. And so food insecurity just means that a person doesn't have access to enough healthy food on a regular basis. So maybe they have access to really inexpensive fast food sorts of food, but they're not getting the fruits, vegetables, other nutrient-dense foods that we'd want included in the diet. And so in addition to the 1 in 6 Americans, we also know that 1 in 5 children are food insecure. Big Blue Pantry has been in business here at the University of Kentucky since August 2014. And the purpose of the pantry is to have an on-campus food pantry that serves University of Kentucky students who need access to healthy food. So we do have food banks that are a short-term solution to hunger, and certainly they're a viable solution to hunger, to helping that person who has an immediate need in terms of food. However, we also want to think long-term, and again, thinking about the underlying causes of hunger and related to that, poverty, and really helping people to overcome those underlying causes to hunger, in addition to having the food pantry that solves the immediate need of providing food to a person who doesn't have food otherwise.
While food banks have had an immense impact on the lives of those who are hungry and food insecure, there are some who still feel that hunger could be dealt with in better ways.
Giving away food is not the answer. We really have to get past that point of kidding ourselves that if we just build more food banks or if we give away more free food on the street corners or more sandwiches at the park, that people aren't going to be hungry. That'll never, ever do it.
When people give food to a food drive, they're actually contributing to hunger in America, which is counterintuitive. Because if I go to if my house of worship or my business or my school's having a food drive and I show up with a can of beans or a box of pasta that I bought, they get it, it goes to a food bank typically, and then goes to a food pantry, and that's perfectly fine. But if I had instead given to the food drive the same amount of money that I spent to buy the product in the first place, that money would have gone to the food pantry, which would have then bought whatever they needed, possibly the same product from the food bank at 10 cents on the dollar. So when I give the box of pasta or the can of whatever, I'm actually throwing away 90% of the good I could have done.
What this argument fails to recognize is the far-spread importance of food banks in fighting hunger. Food banks not only serve the purpose of fighting hunger, but also act as a means to reduce food wastage. The economic gain from reducing the $165 billion worth of food wasted each year far exceeds the economic gain of solely writing checks to food banks. Therefore, the mechanism of donating food is far more effective, but also has the added advantage of community building. Each year, more and more volunteers form stronger bonds and share in the goal of reducing hunger.
If I didn't get the food from them each week, it would be really tough for ends to meet. It's really hard with 3 kids, 3 growing teenagers, 16 and 13 and 10. They eat a lot.
I'd like to say thank you for donating to the food bank, because they helped me and my family, and you guys made a difference. So please keep donating. Thank you.
With very harsh economic realities, the number of food insecure people is on the rise. Food banks provide the quickest and easiest implemented solution. However, we must think ahead. We must identify the root causes of food insecurity and find preventive, not just remedial solutions. For now, we must all actively join in the fight against hunger and be ready to volunteer our time and our effort to those in need. Together, we can tackle hunger.